Welcome everybody. One Coaching World Together at Home.com. We have many names for these super powerful sessions at the beginning of the week. And happy Women's Day. Happy Women's Day. So in the spirit of that, we would like to share a story of a female leader that impacted you, okay? Nice and concise. And two, how a female figure or another female figure could help your career, okay? So let's see. I'll start, and many women have impacted my life. For the longest time, I related better to women because of upbringing. I had a sister, I didn't have a brother. And my father was sick for most of my childhood. And so he was sort of on survival mode. Luckily, everything worked out, and then later on healed and got much better. But obviously my mom had to become the primary provider, and she had to be the leader of the household. Okay, so not that she did everything perfect, nobody does, but she actually upset me a lot along the way. But I've learned throughout the years to really understand where she was coming from and have empathy and compassion. So I will dedicate it to her. And she comes from a lineage of really tough tough women, tough, that went through that lost their spouses at war and just had to figure it out on their own with lots of kids. So I have a lot of appreciation for them, and what they had to go through. Now it's different times. And two, so in my business, I don't really see genders or countries or race. I really do my best to see their heart and mind. And obviously we all have strengths and weaknesses. So I use different assessments tools that I'm happy to share, again, to really see how we can best complement each other in a at work, in a team. So we complement each other's strengths and weaknesses. Yeah, there you go. So and I like to be as diverse as possible. So who would like to go next?
I can go.
Go for it, Yolanda.
So a female leader is my spiritual teacher, Via Powers. She had a great impact on me. It's a lot to her help and her support and loving guidance that I have become who I am now. And another female figure that could help me is definitely Mary Morris in my business. No question. These are really two very important women on my way. Ria for a very long time, almost 30 years, or even 30 years, and Mary Morrissey not so long, but I'm very, very grateful, and I feel honored that I am able to work with them. That's it.
Nice. And what about number two? Since you may be creating a team in the future, do you have any insight about that?
Not yet.
Okay.
No,
it may come.
Really not yet. But it might come.
Yes. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Yolanda. Okay. Ladies first. Veron, what about you? Sunshine.
Sunshine.
It's more like sunset, huh?
Yeah. I think there are lots of women in my life that can impact me. Of course, you know, they're strong women. As I grow up, is like my mother, of course, first of all, who took care of me quite well, and has a lot of influence on me too. And there are other women friends, you know, where there are some people when I came into difficulty, and then they helped me along. And also people that we can share and work together as well. But for the business side, now is there are some women there are more men than women in the property business, but there are some very good woman leader as well, and they are also holding, you know, seminar and doing a lot of works expanding their business, and I'm working with a few of them, and I find it's very inspiring that this job, this like development, you know, it's not just for men, you know, a lot of women can do it too and put it together, and there's a lot of things I can learn from them. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, fantastic. Okay, great. Okay, and thank you so much, Veron. And let's hear from our gentleman.
For me, probably goes back to my grandmother. She brought up 13 children at a time.
How many?
In 13.
Oh, wow. Very fertile.
Yes. And 9 of them are still going, and 5 of them are in their 90s today.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
Oh.
And look, there's hardly ever been a bad word spoken between any of the siblings. So yeah, she had a impact on me early. But another person is a woman by the name of Jane Parker, who was a designer or in part owner of a fashion house called Country Road Clothing. They're a high-end fashion retailer and wholesaler in Australia, where I worked. Been in my career at 5 years into my career, and so what she taught me was that gender does not have any boundaries as to what you can achieve. She was a strong woman that ran the design components of Country Road Clothing, and it was an industry where there were a lot of women and a lot of women in management roles. So seeing that and how they operated enabled me to work effectively from that day forward. And secondly, how a female figure could help your business. Well, I think at the moment, the women in this group have provided me with some snippets of wisdom along the way. I've enjoyed the way that we interact and the advice that you come up with, and that's extremely well led by yourself, Alina. So, and that I see as probably the biggest area where I've got specific impact from women. I grew up in country Victoria. And so this is help. Oh, I haven't had any issues with gender along the way, and I believe that the strong women in this group have had a huge impact on what I've done over the last 12 months. So thank you all.
Oh, our pleasure, and thank you. Was your grandma from England?
No, she was about, I'm trying to think how many generations. Her ancestors or my ancestors arrived in Australia back in 1850. On that side of the family, yes. So,
Great.
no, not English, but
Okay.
by descent.
Very good. Wonderful. Thank you for the great stories, everybody. And let's hear from Michael.
All right. Well, with the first one, believe it or not, I actually struggled for a bit, and I realized it's because it's not filed under gender. If I thought of all the great people that have influenced me, probably half of them be women. But to really find a woman that stood out, I went through a couple, like my a coach that influenced me a lot with manifesting about 15 years ago, and my home economics teacher at school that had a great take on shared roles in domestic everything. And I think that's where my heart for clean and maintenance really came from. And everyone thought I was gay for the next 10 years, but it was just that I'd been exposed to an awareness early, and that's leadership for the gender to get that stuff over the line in the heart space. But I really was touching on my grandmother all the time, and then Gary went there, and so I'm going to go there too. My grandmother was amazing. She saved my life totally. I was homeless and in great struggles at the age of 17, and ended up going and living with my grandmother. And she ended up having dementia. She had a hard life, and in the end, a memory caved in. But she knew that she was slightly powerless all her life, and absolutely made the most of the power that she did have. And for that, I found her to be a real leader. She had issues with the way women were treated and boxed, and what she had to do with her life, the choices she had with education and job. And she had to hold the fort when the husband did go to war, and all the women knew already they could run the world pretty well if the men weren't there by chance, and they proved it. But she had to nurse him, and the amount of quality that she had was that she loved men. And I'm really now into this thing about super positive heterosexual family building energy. And she loved her husband, she loved men, and she loved women, and she loved life, and she fought for what was right and good all the time despite the hardship. And so I think in my own close thing, and she really showed me a heart that I try to pass on. So a lot of who I am, I think, and a lot of my labourers and people always say their grandmothers have had this big influence on them. It's very, very common. So that's number one. And number two, how could a female influence my business? Millions of ways. And then I thought, why am I getting so genderistic? I just don't think in those terms. I just want the right person. But then I thought, okay, the right man could do it, but it's really hard to find. But a woman with the sensitivity and the awareness and the compassion with people and so many things that I value and the customers value, I would like a woman to help train my staff or work with customers on service quotations and signing documents and things, or even on admin, just dealing with people. So I love the idea of women working in my team, and I'd give them as much leadership as they were ready to take on.
Yes. Correct.
And you guys are great. And one of the greatest women in influence in my last 12 months would be you, Dr. Elena.
Oh, thank you. And vice versa. Thank you, guys. You inspire me every time. You're amazing. Wonderful. So, Dr. Divgi, do you see the questions? Or
I didn't see, but I guess you're asking about who influenced your life.
Yes.
And I can look at the...
Let me resend it to you. Sorry, I had already typed something else here. Here we go. I sent it to a private message to you.
Okay. Yeah. You want me to go?
Yeah.
The person who influenced my life is my mom's older sister. I've seen her and my dad's sister, actually, both, and my mom. I'm surrounded by all strong females, but the one who impacted me most is my mom's sister. All I know of her is she was teaching in a blind school for the kids, and I used to spend a lot of time with her in the blind school. And I was about 8 or 9 years old when I had gone for a picnic with them. And we went to a national park and we were standing there. We got down from the bus and I was busy watching what these blind guys are going to do in the open field with the trees and all that. And this, my aunt, such a wise woman, she came from behind me, put her hand on my shoulder and asked me, why am I not playing? I said, I'm just watching them because I'm scared for them that they will fall. So she made me watch them for 5 minutes and then said, you're looking at what they don't have. Start looking at what they got and you will see it. And one by one, she pointed out. She said, look at this stick that marks 3 feet. And then with that, they kind of check out the surrounding. Number 2, they're always in a buddy system. Nobody is left alone. Number 3, their sense of hearing, it's much more powerful than ours. And they know the difference, whether it's a rock, there's a dirt, that's a tree or what, which you and I wouldn't even know by the sound. And she made me watch them. And then when she was sure that I saw that, she said, now go play. And that made such a keen impact on me. I think I was 8 or 9, so I said, and that has stayed with me all through. I'm always looking for what the people have than they don't have. I always look for their strengths than their weaknesses. You know, I used to go on the rehab floor, pediatric rehab. The team used to wait for me and they would always say, Dr. D, you bring something different to the table. You know, we were a group of 13 doctors, but they would wait for my turn to be on the rehab floor. So that's how strongly she impacted me.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Such amazing stories, everybody. It gives me goosebumps of happiness. Fantastic. All right. So I just want to remind you before I forget that we are going in daylight saving this week. I apologize. So Melbourne is going right in 3 weeks. Yeah. Yeah. So and Europe is going in 2 weeks. So for until then, until we're all in daylight saving, is 1 hour earlier for not for you, Dr. Divgi, you're in the US, but for the other 4. Okay, I apologize. Yeah. So good for Yolanda, I think, and Veron, not so good for our gentlemen, but just prepare a strong cup of coffee, okay? You'll do just fine. All right, good job. So let me see in the chat box, everybody, summarize one win from last week, and I'll do the same in the chat box. And if there is anything that you need to continue or repeat. So Okay, great. Dr. Divgi, send it to everybody. And welcome back. Yeah, that's amazing. All right. Very good, Michael and Dr. Divgi, Yolanda, excellent. Thank you, Michael. And Veron, send it to everybody. Send it to everybody. Great. Good job. Okay, so it's springtime. Okay, nature is blossoming and blooming here in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, I'm sure leaves may be changing color. So that's beautiful and picturesque and very creative. So new season, new energy, new perspective, and let's flow and glow with the season. Sounds good, Gary? All right, wonderful. So let's reprioritize. So let's see. So next week, okay, yeah, next week was daylight saving. And then after that would be officially in the new season. Some of you, the Southern Hemisphere is already on to the new season. So, yeah, but let's see where we are at, okay? So take a moment to see what your main focus is this week out of these 5 areas. Focus is something that is talked about a lot. I don't think very many people understand it or have mastered focus. Some people have an easier time to hyper focus. Some others have a harder time, you know, attention deficit disorder, etc. So, and plus, you know, it's even harder to focus these days with all the distractions. COVID made it a little easier because forced us at home, so a little less distractions, but still. So, yeah, so I would say for me is well-being with all the new plants and fruits and pollens and, you know, this whole vaccine thing, but I'm boosting my immune system naturally. So Dr. Divgi, career, Yolanda, career, Veronica, play, fantastic. And Gary, relations. Okay, Michael, career, wonderful. Okay, so let's hone into it, okay? And just think season long and week long. But first, season long, okay? Season long. Think ahead for the entire season, okay? 2 for the week. And quantify in the best of your abilities. Okay, and you're gonna do that in groups, okay? So I'll tell you when to switch. Apologize, 1 second. Okay, I'll tell you what, just do that by yourself, okay? Since the music is playing, we'll do the group next, okay? And please do share in the chat box. All right. Let's see. To refill on water. Okay, so good, everybody. You're very clear, all of you. What about you, Gary? Would you like to put it on here? Okay. On the chat box, so it's easy to refer back. Nice. And Veron, what about you, darling? Okay, you can put it in there when you have a moment. Okay, good job, everybody, all the way around. And let's mastermind together. Okay, do your visualization about really go at the end of June. Okay, go at the end of June with your mind. And maybe more things will pop up. Okay, remember in the visualizations to use all your senses, like Dr. Varada was saying. You know, senses can be increased, or what's the word, augmented. I don't know if that's a word, but they can become stronger, right, the more we use them. So the eyes, what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we say, what we touch and feel. There you go. So Gary and Veron will do it together, and Michael and Yolanda will do it together, and Dr. Divgi, stay here. You and I will do it together. And go. Beautiful. Welcome back, Dr. Divgi. Looking good. Unmute, darling.
I said I'm having some trouble because there are 4 families close to me having some health issues and have to be on the phone and kind of draining. One of the family lost the mom. Of course, she was 103.
Oh my God.
But
I'm so sorry.
that is still a big loss.
Oh, wow.
And there's just too many things going on.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had to drive. We went to the beach, but weather was bad.
Yeah.
And I had to stop by on the way coming back with a friend who was in the hospital, gotten worse after cancer. So those issues, you know, her kids, and then one of my friend's grandson, you know, they are having some issues.
Oh,
So,
wow. Yeah, you've had a couple of weeks of this, happening, 2 or 3
yeah,
weeks.
that is what is going on. But I am focused on the things I'm doing. On Saturdays, I take that. I told you one of the guys doing the life purpose and all that.
Sure.
So I have identified that my purpose is aging gracefully and purposefully.
Yes.
And targeting the people slightly older, means what he's targeting, 60 and above, so that I will deal with the baby boomers.
Ah, yes. Great.
Because they're all entering the senior ages.
Yes.
And I was very proud. Today I completed my slide. And I was looking at a slide with the circular motion, because I feel like balance of life, wheel of life, and that has to be balanced. So I kind of related visual. I needed something in the circular form than the regular text. So I completed a very nice slide for me. I will send it to you in the Google Drive.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, please do, please do. Yes. Would love.
And that is what is I'm spending season long. My plan would be to complete the product and services, because the aim of this training is to get some self-employment out of that.
Yes. Okay.
So that is what I have to, I'm not doing it as a non-profit, but I decided, because right now I have no income coming in. So I need to generate some income.
Sure. Okay.
And then donate to non-profit.
Yes, wonderful. Yeah. If you can send it to me today, then I have tonight to review it. Then we can discuss tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern. Okay. When we
tomorrow, I was going to ask you on that.
Yeah.
Can we do it on Wednesday morning or tomorrow evening, way late, whatever the latest you can do, that would be fine, because the afternoon is.
Do your best in the future to give me a little more notice, okay?
Yeah, because something has come up last minute.
Okay. Could you do 5:30?
No. I may not be home, because that's what has happened. Okay. I'm called out to help someone, and I don't think I will be back. So it is pretty late. So even by 7, 8 o'clock. So it's about 5 o'clock your time.
Okay. How about 7:30? Can you do 7:30?
My time? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Great.
Or I can try, if I can take the phone from there.
Okay. Try. If not, we'll do 7:30. Okay.
Yeah, I will try our scheduled time.
Sure.
Then if I'm not there, if I'm not in a place to do it, I will text you.
Sure.
Then I'll do the 7:30. Yeah.
I'm sorry about your losses and all this.
It just, means I wondered that so many years we are there like codependent and helping people, but I'm not able to do that right now.
Yeah.
Means when you are actively doing it,
you're shocked.
You don't feel that.
Yeah, really traumatized.
So many sick kids, we take care, we support the families and all that. But right now, these are all very close people. And it's more than one. I cannot give the energy to everybody right now.
Of course. Yes.
Understood. And please, that is what I'm noticing.
Take gentle care of yourself.
Yeah, I am working on that.
Yes. All right, welcome back, everybody. Good job all the way around. Remember to continue mastering this art and science of visualization. Whenever you have a moment, it can be a couple minutes before you fall asleep, a minute or two as soon as you wake up while you're still in bed with your eyes closed, okay? Really use all your senses, and the more you're able to see it in your head, the faster it's going to concretize and of course materialize. And I know you obviously with this coaching you're taking actions towards it. Okay, so now let's see how we could make it happen. Okay, so I lost my landscaper this weekend, and and so I felt like my whole world was falling apart, overwhelmed. So after I caught up with my breathing, I started thinking about all possible options. Really, I masterminded with myself. I made some calls. I asked other people to think about ideas of what I could do, because this is the fertilizing and seeding season. It's not that I live in a harsh climate in the desert. It's not I can wait until next month. So, or let everything die. So anyway, so I was able to narrow it down to a couple of viable options that I wasn't thinking before, and may even be the greatest options I've ever utilized for being sustainable and keeping up with all my fruit and veggie plants. So let's see what you've got. You're gonna do this with your higher self, okay, alone. Feel free to share it in the chat box. That's always helpful. I'll put some nice music for you and start. Great. Okay. All right. So nice. So okay. So for Michael, autumn training online material. Okay. Okay, so getting organized with the right customer. Remember to define what right customer is so you can attract them easier. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, cool.
Yes. And since you like training, you may want to check out that ClubHouse new social media, Michael, as well.
Yeah, I wrote that down before. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. Yeah, a lot is going on, a lot of great free training there. So, okay, painting class for Veronica. Wonderful. Okay, Gary, check on family members. Yeah, that's really nice. Communication is key. Yeah, we've all had to improve our communication, I think, during COVID, because we have less dimensions, right, than the face-to-face. So we have to compensate with online, with maybe showing more emotions, more feelings, more love, and so on, different volume of voice and tonality to really get across. Veron, okay, so Varada, Udemy, GetSetUp, my course offer Udemy. Is GetSetUp something, a new platform like Udemy? I've not heard of it. I'll check it out.
Yeah, they are. GetSetUp is something I got introduced to. There, a lot of classes are free for the senior citizens.
Oh, wow.
But
nice.
I think they make money off the organizations like YMCA and all that.
Okay.
And
is that
I'm learning a
international?
whole lot. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, that's I just got introduced to it.
Wonderful.
After I had my meeting with the mayor, she
Yeah.
said something about there are some free classes online. And that's when I Googled it, that GetSetUp came up.
Beautiful. Okay. Very nice. Exciting. We'll check it out. Yolanda will continue working with her database. That's great. That's great. Wonderful. Good job, everybody. Good masterminding with your higher self. Okay. So now from this great plan and strategy, which one is going to be the first action that will stem out of it and that you complete for the next 7 days? Everything else, bonus. Okay, if you can do more, bonus, but we'll hold you to the very first action step out of your new strategy. And let us know, look at your calendar, exactly what you're going to do by when, and let us know in the chat box, and go.
Awesome.
Very nice. All right, good job. Great actions, everybody. Very doable. Great way to get into the season or start the new season. Yes. And plus, you've got all these great women that paved our way to continue watching out for us and watching over us and keep inspiring and empowering. So remember that you got that going as well. Extra blessings today and this week. So all of these deserves a nice reward. Okay. If you have that now in your mind, please do share it in the chat box. And if not, if you need to think about it, do share it in our private Facebook group. I did, for me, is going to be a picnic because I've not managed yet, and I have this brand new basket kit that's like not being used. So what a pity. Great. There you go, Veron. Gary, walk around the park with wife. Beautiful. Michael, barbecue. Great. And Yolanda, oh, fun time with your partner. Say hi. Great. Okay, beautiful. Varada music. That's always very healing. Very, very nice. Yeah. Okay, beautiful. Good job, everybody. Okay, you did it. You did it. You did. We did celebrate Women's Day. We had a great session in their honor and in honor of the new season. So feel free to invite all the powerful women in your life to these calls if they need some extra support. Okay. And you did great. I'm so proud of you. Then I would love to hear one thing from everybody to wrap it up. We have a few minutes. Maybe it's one new learning, one new epiphany, something you want to send out to the universe for the week. Just don't overthink it. Let it flow from my heart to yours. Let today and this season inspire you. And what about you, Gary?
For me, it's love and family.
Oh, very nice. So be it. And what about you, Yolanda?
Be grateful for what I have and what we all have.
Gratitude. Nice. Okay, so be it. And Dr. Divgi? Gratitude and healing. Yes, yes. And from our heart to yours as well. Dr. Divgi has gone through some major losses. So healing to you from all of us as well. And Veron, charm. Michael, clarity. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So go out there, shine your beautiful light from your heart and find mind, and everything will fall into place. So have a great week, everybody, and looking forward to reconnecting next week with more successes and more fun. Ciao, belli.
Thanks, Elena.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a great week, everyone.
Bravo.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes.